Welcome back to Extra Holiday Games. I'm Extra Holiday, and once again, we find ourselves like in some sort of Sisyphean scenario. We find ourselves still in the level Rubber Rush of Super RubberRoss. Yes, truly, it seems as though it will never end, this level. And it is only through my own ineptitude that is the case. Surely, were I simply a better gamer, were I only to get good, as they say, I would have very well cleared this at the age of 9 years old. Just like that one commenter on that one video. Also, I just realized something. So when I walked into... I'm gonna have to check the... I'm gonna have to check the... Oh, that was bad. I'm gonna have to check the video when I edit, but I'm pretty sure when I walked into the pipe at the start of the level, I had like 200 seconds left on the clock, and now I have 400. And what happened there is that I left between batches, but I left the game on for a little bit, you know, as I was tidying things up after recording. And so, you know, the clock was ticking down that whole time. And it got down to about 200 seconds. But apparently, it would seem that this game has some sort of mechanic, okay, to protect you from leaving the game on. Leaving the game on and walking away. Because, yeah, I'm 90% certain that I had about 200 seconds left at the start of the level, and then I suddenly had like 400. So they gave me more time, interestingly, on account of me, you know, just having stood there for 200 seconds, which is interesting. It's interesting. It's definitely something that if most people were making a game like this, they wouldn't think to do. Because that's such a... It's such a situation where, like, as a player, I'm not going to get upset that I accidentally left it on. Right? I can't get upset at the devs for me accidentally leaving it on and unpaused for a while. But still, it's like, man, it's like one of the things that I learned that you're supposed to do in a lot of customer service jobs, where if you mess up, even if the customer isn't upset, you still offer them something as if they were. Because it's only really a positive, right? They walk away being like, well, I mean, regardless of whether they accept it or not, they're like, wow, that was cool that they offered, even though, you know, I didn't have to get upset for them to offer me something when they knew they messed up. And I do think it's a good strategy in those sorts of jobs, in those sorts of industries. Because otherwise, if people think the only way that they're going to get any sort of compensation is to make a big hoopla, then yeah, they're gonna make a big hoopla. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense, actually. But it's weird to see that same sort of philosophy here in a video game, where, like, they just give you the benefit of the doubt. And they just give it to you because, well, what's it really cost them? It's weird, though. It's weird. But I like it. I think it's neat. Honestly, I think that is... Man, I feel like I wish more people did that. I wish more people would, like, apologize for things that they feel that they've done wrong, even if the person they're apologizing to isn't even upset about it, right? Because I really like that idea of teaching people, like, yeah, you don't have to be a jerk about it to get, to get some sort of recompense, some sort of compensation for being inconvenienced in such a way. Oops. Yeah, And of course, there are also people who are too far on the other side of the spectrum where they'll apologize for things that aren't even their fault. And of course, in customer service, you have to do that. But to an even larger extent, like even just on a personal basis, they'll apologize for something they had nothing to do with and they're not responsible for it anyway. Because that's the difference. The difference is if you're working in a customer service role, you still have to take responsibility for stuff that other people you're working with have done. And sometimes even stuff that nobody you're working with has done. Or nobody you're even associated with. But that's another subject matter for another time. There are people who will do that even just person to person, without any sort of obligation to. Because they're just so afraid of someone being upset at them that they'll just apologize for something they really don't need to apologize for. And that's, again, right, I feel like there's a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it, right? If you realize that you are at fault, how do I want to put this? If you know you're at fault, you should probably do something about it, regardless of whether someone's upset or not. But you also, I guess what I'm saying is you also shouldn't apologize for things that have nothing to do with you. Yeah. Right? Things that you have no power over. Again, unless you're in some sort of professional role where you're part of a team or group and the person who messed up is in that group. In that case, yeah, it's a weird, complicated subject, but I think people could do better. I guess that's all I'm saying, really. I want people. What? Yeah, I just get tired of like people just getting more upset than they need to at things because they feel like they have to get what they want out of the situation. And I hate that everyone kind of gets held to that standard because those people exist, right? It's like, oh God, I hate this and I hate even talking about it, but it's like how everyone at a job, anyone you interview with, pretty much anyone you interview with at a job interview is expecting you to be playing up your strengths and downplaying your weaknesses, which is inherently dishonest. Let's not beat around the bush, right? That's effectively lying. If you want to say, like, if someone asks you, what's your greatest weakness? And you're like, oh, I just care too much. And that's not an honest answer, right? That's you trying to make yourself look as good as possible while answering a question that's designed to make you not look good. Right? And again, there's an argument to be made that maybe it's not fair that they're asking a question designed to make you look bad, but still, I feel you should answer that question honestly. Like, I'll be straight, when I get asked that question, I don't say stuff like, oh, I care too much, or I'm a perfectionist, or anything like that, even though some of that is true. What I say is, I'm a little slow, right? Speed is not something that comes naturally to me. And because it's not what the interviewer is expecting, because they're expecting me to be trying my best to make myself look as good as possible, even if it means stretching the truth a little, then it makes me look even worse than someone who is doing that. Because their first thought, the interviewer's first thought, is going to be like, oh, he's trying to make himself look good, but he's not doing a very good job of it. Or he's trying to make himself look good, he doesn't look that good. And I hate that that exists. I hate that that is the standard that everyone is held to. But it's a prisoner's dilemma type of scenario. Because you can't really... If you're not doing it and someone else is, they get the advantage, right? They are the ones who are more likely to get the job because that is the sort of thing that interviewers encourage, right, in their hiring practices. And it sucks. It sucks. And honestly, I don't even think it's the best thing for an interviewer to do, because at that point you are hiring someone who is not, you're hiring someone who's okay with bending the truth, right? And of course there's an argument to be made that sometimes you have to do it just a little bit, but guaranteed that person is at least somewhat okay with being dishonest. And of course, if they're okay with being dishonest with you at that time, who's to say they're not going to be dishonest with you later? Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, come on. No, damn it. It's always that last slam that gets me. Fuck. Yeah, so when it comes to interviews and that sort of thing, I just take the L. I just take the L because that's how it should be, right? Right, and of course, there's always going to be this tension between ideals and reality. But there are many, 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 many things in the world, many ideals that would be reality if people stuck to them. And that is one of those things, right? I've talked before about the fallacy of the beard. It's one of those things where if people believed that everyone was honest in their interviews, then, well, yes, people would still lie, but it wouldn't be as accepted, right? Again, it's a prisoner's dilemma scenario, so yes, some very, very desperate people would do it, but you would at least, you wouldn't have honest people being held to the standard of people who stretch the truth. And I think that's better than where we're at now. So essentially, as a Sigma, I act as if everyone else in the world is going to act the same way, regardless of, what the fact of the matter might actually be. Because otherwise you do end up falling for that fallacy of the beard, where, you think, well, I'm just one person, there's no way I can change how things work. And because everyone is thinking that, nothing actually changes for the better. And that sucks. That really, really sucks. Alright, I'm going to try a strat here real quick. I don't know if it's gonna work, but it's something I've been thinking about trying for like a dozen episodes, but I haven't been paying enough attention to do it. But I'm gonna try a strat going through this door. Let me see. Oh, okay. You can stall a little bit there, but... And maybe you can actually pull it off. I was trying to wall jump up in that little crevice. That was bad. I was trying to wall jump up in that little crevice, just back and forth, while the level did its thing, because you'd be safe up there. And maybe we'll be safe next time. Because, as for this episode, that's a wrap. Takes every drop of water to make a flood.